Hi, it's Bryan. I'm ready for my next location. You may notice again, I'm in Hamilton gear again. And I've decided that I'm going to do Hamilton locations Mondays and Fridays and Fantastic Beasts locations on Wednesdays. So the next location is the Common. And the Common it's now City Hall Park in Lower Manhattan. It's bordered on the west by Broadway, so those of you who are familiar with Manhattan may get an idea of where that is. And the Common is an important location in the musical. It gives us two very key introductions. The first is in the song Schuyler Sisters in Act 1. And Aaron Burr starts us off by saying, "There's nothing rich folks love more than going downtown and slumming it with the poor. They pull up in their carriages and gawk at the students in the Common just to watch them talk." And then we meet the Schuyler sisters, Angelica and Peggy and Eliza. And Eliza, they're apparently not supposed to be in the Common, and Eliza asks Angelica to remind her what they're looking for. And that's when Angelica says they're looking for a mind at work. And that's where the three young women do their work, which has really become probably the most iconic image from the musical. That song also has one of my favorite Burr lines, where he says to Angelica, "Your perfume smells like your daddy's got money." So, I like that line. The Common is also the setting for the song "Farmer Refuted," and that's another introduction in a way. It's where we first see Alexander Hamilton, who we've already met in the musical by then, but we see him kind of coming into his own and challenging Samuel Seabury, who's a loyalist, who's making a pro-British statement, and Alexander challenges him, and we also see one of what becomes one of the elements that Miranda structures the musical around, and that's the difference in mindset between Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton. Because Burr tries to keep Alexander from going up and challenging Seabury, and pulls him away, says, "Alexander, please." And then Hamilton responds, "Burr, I'd rather be divisive than indecisive. Drop the niceties." And we'll see that element throughout the show, where Burr would rather keep his views and his opinions to himself, waiting for the right opportunity, which may never come. Whereas Hamilton lets you know what he's thinking. He's not afraid to say what's on his mind. He's not afraid to go after what he wants. So then I'll go back to the book and read some of the history about the Common. The park's western boundary was a Native American trail, like I said, that later became Broadway. In 1765, New Yorkers protested the Stamp Act at the site, and a year later, the first Liberty Pole, a mast topped by a vane with the word Liberty, was built at the site, and a replica actually stands between City Hall and Broadway, near its original location. The Common was also the site of Alexander Hamilton's first major public speech. So it's like in the play where you first see Hamilton coming into his own, it actually happened in real life. He spoke at a meeting of the Sons of Liberty on July 6th, 1774, where he spoke in support of the Boston Tea Party and boycott of British goods. When Hamilton, with others, stole cannons from Fort George in the Battery on August 23rd, 1775, they brought the cannons to the Common. On July 9th, 1776, George Washington read the Declaration of Independence to a crowd at the Common. So it was a popular gathering spot. It was just right next to King's College, when it was located downtown before it became Columbia University and moved to the Upper West Side in Manhattan. So there were always a lot of people, a lot of young people with opinions that would gather at the Common. During the American Revolution, the British controlled New York and used the debtors' prison at the north end of the Common, where the Tweed Courthouse now stands, if you know the area, to hold prisoners, and eventually executing 250 of them behind the soldiers' barracks. They set up a gallows. And New Yorkers used the park for gatherings throughout the 19th century, including meetings after the declaration of the Mexican-American War in 1846, and a call to volunteers in 1862 to enlist in the Civil War. During the Civil War, the park was used to house troops. After President Lincoln was assassinated, his funeral procession for New York residents began at City Hall. The park is home to more than a dozen monuments, and the Mold Fountain, which has moved around in the city. It's as fountains go, it's a famous fountain. It's now located in the center of the park. In 1991, during the construction of a nearby federal office building, an African burial ground was uncovered on portions of the northern part of the park. The park is now a New York City landmark. It's been added to the National Register of Historic Places and the National Historic Landmark. So that's the Common. As I said, I've decided, because I have probably twice as many locations in my Hamilton book as I do in my Fantastic Beasts book. Monday, Friday, Hamilton, Wednesday, Fantastic Beasts. And I've decided I'm just probably going to go in order of my book. It's easier for me. I'm already finding out that 3 videos a week is maybe a bit ambitious, but I'll keep trying it and keep trying to get content out there for you. As before, if you like it, hit subscribe. There are now links in the comments below where you can connect to me on social media if you'd like. Thanks a lot.